Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video presented by Red Pilled American, and here I am to discuss the latest bill that is currently being discussed and presented by Congress that would restrict Trump's ability to enact tariffs or outright just ban him from enacting tariffs unless it was authorized by Congress. And the bill would be called the Trade Review Act. It has received bipartisan support by both parties, and doing so would basically prevent Trump from would hinder Trump's campaign promise to, that he promised to basically stand up to these countries that have been taking advantage of us with these bad trade policies. And Congress is going to try and limit his ability to do that. And look, I don't know what's going to happen with the whole tariff thing. I know it's a new thing for everybody. I know for me, it's kind of a new thing. But you see, here's the thing. I'm waiting to trust the process, and I'm willing to trust the process, because we are in a broken system that needs change. And to change a broken system that we know has not been working for us, it takes risk. And, whether it happens, whether it's successful or not, besides the point. The point is, what we have is not working. And it needs to change. And yes, there's going to be risks involved for doing that. Could there be a little bit inflation for it happening? Yeah, I mean, it's possible, and it might. But here's the thing: maybe it won't be as bad as possible. And we're already seeing effects fly. And even with inflation, Americans might experience little of it, because you're already seeing companies already investing in America. You're already seeing countries already ready to negotiate. You have at least 50 countries that are looking to negotiate with Trump. And you have he's been able to get some to actually agree to just remove tariffs off the board. But yet now you have Congress signing a bill when it's clear his policies are working. And not only is it helping bring in jobs here, but it's getting something going that would actually make our trade system fairer, but would actually help the middle class. But yet you have Congress working to stop that. And it's interesting. They're a big excuse, especially the Republicans. The Democrats, look, I'm not even worried about them, okay? Look at these people literally think transgenderism and white supremacy are the most important issues on people's heads right now. So who cares what they think, okay? They're not a real opposition, and all they have is being anti-Trump. So they're always going to take the opposite stance just to own Trump. It's funny how Trump got them to simp for Wall Street. You can't make this up. As for Republicans, I'm so done with the Republicans, man. I'm so sick of these rhinos that we have currently in our Congress right now that keep backstabbing their base that Trump's brought in. They know darn well what Trump was going to do. They knew what he was going to do. He promised he would do it. They knew he would do it. They know darn well that companies are taking advantage of us. And let's face it, Republicans and Democrats both allowed it to happen, where they allow these countries to take advantage of us with these unfair trade deals that have decimated the middle class. And let me see, who are the Republicans that are co-sponsoring this bill? Here, I'm reading off from the Business Insider, which is Yahoo. They're definitely not my favorite source by any means, but this is what I have best for now. And these are the GOP Republicans that have co-sponsored the bill, and I'm not surprised by it. Most of these people. You have Susan Collins out of Maine, not surprised there. Chuck Grassley out of Iowa. So disappointing. That one's so disappointing. You're literally representing a state that Trump made Republican because of these issues he runs on, yet you vote against that. Mitch McConnell. Oh, Turtle Mitch. Cocaine Mitch. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Jerry Morin out of Kansas. He represents Kansas. Lisa Murkowski out of Alaska. Tom Tillis out of North Carolina. Todd Young of Indiana. So, let's see, at least so far, 7 senators are going to cross over with Democrats to, and also, forgot one, Rand Paul. Okay, Rand Paul is really disappointing me. Look, I used to respect the guy, and I do respect him on some issues, especially on corruption and bad spending, and, but Rand Paul is just bad on the issues. He's bad on the issues on MAGA. He's kind of a libertarian. That's why I find libertarian kind of cringe for this reason. But he's out of touch on this issue. But these others are a disgrace. They're a disgrace. McConnell, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. In fact, I think every one of these Republicans need to be primaried. Whether they vote against it or not, they need to be primaried. And the good news is it looks like Speaker Mike Johnson isn't planning to allow this to be on the floor. He's sticking with Trump on the tariff stuff. Doesn't look like they have the votes anyways, so it doesn't look like he plans to bring it to a vote. I forgot one. Another one, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is another one that is looking to jump on board. That's so disappointing. So disappointing. I mean, Ted Cruz, you're good on some issues, but you're really wrong on the issues that you're really wrong on the most important issues that we're faced, that we need Republicans to support, and yet you keep supporting these globalistic policies. Now I know Cruz and Chuck Grassley and Rand Paul, I mean, they're all going to say because it raises prices, particularly them, especially. They're like, oh, it raises prices and stuff like that. Look, sorry to be redundant, but yes, that's generally what their fear is it's going to raise too much. It's going to cost the consumer way too much because of these tariffs. Here's the thing with that, though. You're already, yes, it could possibly, but ever since Trump enacted these tariffs, his approval rating's gone up. Here's why. Americans are recognizing that this is an America First policy. And it seems people understand that we need to be self-reliant and we need to be back manufacturing, and our ruling class has been sold out. Our middle class has been sold out by our ruling class for elitist interests. And America sees the tariffs as an America First because Trump is putting America first by protecting our jobs, by standing up to these countries that have ripped us off. But yet you have Congress resisting that clearly. And you have these Republicans. I mean, some of them, I guess I try to understand, but the Republicans are causing such a huge divide in the party right now. And it's funny, people are saying that the Republicans bend to Trump's will. No, they don't. They don't bend to his will. They're resisting him. Every chance they get, they're resisting him. Especially on the issues that matter the most, they resist. And it's annoying and it's upsetting to me, really upsetting to me. And see, this is why Republicans cannot win the Midwest. This is why they have a hard time winning the Midwest unless it's someone like Trump, because Republicans openly seem to want to sell our jobs overseas, outsourcing. They've always kind of been historically more open, since, especially since the 90s. That's when the Republic, that they seem to embrace that pro outsourcing party and cheap labor. Like, it's really upsetting to me. And I have to face it. If this ends up passing, if this keeps passing, you're gonna lose midterms. You're gonna lose midterms. MAGA's not gonna come out for you. They're not. It's already it's like pulling teeth to get MAGA to come vote at all. And now you're at a point where you're making these voters Trump or bust. And this is why they're Trump or bust, because you keep backstabbing them. And I'm getting close to being one of those voters too. I mean, generally I vote for the most conservative, but man, it's getting really hard to support the GOP too right now because they constantly backstab us. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen after Trump, but man, if they keep backstabbing Trump, they're going to regret it, and they're going to make themselves a non-existent party. The GOP needs to evolve, and I think right now the best we have is to primary these people and get real America first, pro-tariff, anti, become fair trade. We need to be a protectionist party, and right now the GOP, they're still too open to unrestricted free trade. That clearly hurts us. But their thing on trade needs to change, because if they ever want to win the presidency out of Trump here in Michigan, Pennsylvania, have a chance in Wisconsin, they're going to have to be more pro-tariff if you want to bring out these blue-collar voters that come because of Trump. This has got to change, man. This has got to change, and I'm so sick of the GOP. And we know they were going to make things hell for Trump because they want to get rid of him too. And this is just the beginning. They're going to make things hell. And right now, I fear that nothing important that we need to get done, not even election integrity. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to give Trump any victory. They might want to try to sink midterms to really stop Trump. The uniparty is real, and again, there's no bipartisanship. It's fake. That's a myth. There's no bipartisanship. It's only when both parties come to screw over the middle American. That's all they do. So, but yeah, that's all I have now. Let me know what you all think. Comment, subscribe. If you like this, click the bell for notifications. But that's all I have for now. Peace out.